The growth of Surface Combustion Incorporated is a rich history of discovery, innovation, and adaptation, which actually began on the opposite sides of the Atlantic. In 1904, Dr. Charles Luck of Columbia University discovers that mixing air with fuel gas before ignition produces an intensely hot blue flame, and when this flame is placed under a bed of refractory material or a solid steel plate, the refractory material and the steel plate become incandescent and radiate heat hotter than the flame. He calls this phenomenon surface combustion and patents the discovery. Meanwhile, in London, England, Dr. William Bone, working with no knowledge of Dr. Luck's research, makes similar discoveries about gas and surface combustion. He is granted British patents and calls his discovery incandescent radiant surface combustion. By 1915, sensing a large commercial opportunity, the two scientists decided to avoid costly transatlantic patent infringement litigation and merged their patent licensing companies to coordinate and promote the use of surface combustion in the growing industrial market. With this important alliance, Surface Combustion Incorporated is born, and now sets the stage for Surface's important role in the development of the modern thermal processing industry. The first office was located in Bronx, New York, with the initial product lines consisting of small oven furnaces, pot hardening furnaces, aluminum melting furnaces, rivet heaters, and small forge furnaces. By 1916, the spark of innovation was just taking shape, with larger projects gaining prominence in support of the tremendous industrial growth taking place. During this time, Surface designs the largest automatic heat treating furnace to date for Baldwin Locomotive Company in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which turns out a record number of 75mm shells for use in World War I. Surface combustion continues to grow with many large installations, including vertical soaking pit furnaces, walking beam, and car bottom furnaces. 1919. As many companies struggle to rebound in a post-war economy, the ingenuity continues, with 14 patents awarded. As Surface enters the 1920s, the decade shapes up to be a decade of many firsts, with the installation of the first continuous billet heating furnace at Bethlehem Steel. Surface also introduces the potato chip furnace, confectioner's furnace, as well as the thrift and junior thrift lines of baking ovens for bakeries, restaurants, and schools, including the first continuous mesh belt baking oven for bread. In 1924, Henry L. Doherty, an industrialist and investor in gas and electric utilities, acquires Surface Combustion and makes it a subsidiary of his Combustion Utilities Corporation in New York, and subsequently relocates operations to Toledo, Ohio, to serve the growing Midwest industrial base. This is when the cloverleaf logo was first introduced, with the three ellipses signifying finance, commerce, and engineering, with all intended to suggest an ever-expanding circle. As the 1920s come to a close and America's infrastructure is being forged, a staggering 97% of all furnaces in service in the steel industry for normalizing have been designed by Surface. Surface closed out the 20s on a high note and becomes a founding member of the Industrial Heating Equipment Association, which has been a relationship that continues today. In spite of the Great Depression, Surface continues to drive new technological innovation, with 31 patents pending and 188 patents held, which equated to approximately 1/4 of the patents issued during its 100-year history. Notable events include Presidential Duty, whereby a new set of Lennox china for the White House was fired in a surface combustion kiln. As the 1930s come to a close, Surface is called to duty during the years of America's defense buildup and World War II. Surface combustion heat treating furnaces and case hardening processes are used in virtually every factory in the U.S. In 1942, the Janitrol division develops and patents the first successful high-altitude aircraft heater to burn aviation fuel. This whirling flame heater is eventually installed in 60,000 planes. Throughout the 40s, technology expands, with Surface selling 271 Charmo Superheat, Preheat, and General Heat Treat furnaces. Other developments include the DX exothermic gas generator and RX endothermic gas generator. The development of the first automatic dew point recorder, AutoCarb. Surface also installs the first catalytic cracking plant at Long Island Lighting Company to obtain full commercial operation for a utility to manufacture fuel gas from propane. By the time the 1950s arrive, Surface is on fire with an industry icon being born. The first Surface all-case BIQ furnace is designed and installed. The all-case would go on to be one of the most recognized, trusted, and reliable furnaces in the industry. Other notable events include another 22 patents are awarded. Metallurgists at Surface Combustion also make rapid strides in advancing the technology of ion processing for case hardening. Surface receiving an order from Weirton Steel Division of National Steel Company for the world's largest slab heating furnaces. The 3 units provided 200 tons per hour capacity. To meet the unique needs of manufacturers of non-ferrous strip products, Surface develops the vertical strip annealing furnace, which for the first time makes available continuous annealing of non-ferrous strip. The AutoCarb automatic carbon potential control system for heat treating and carburizing furnaces makes its debut at the National Metal Show in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The end of the 1950s usher in a new chapter, with Surface Combustion being acquired by Midland Ross Corporation, and becomes the Surface Combustion Division. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, Surface continues to adapt, innovate, and add to the list of firsts. Surface introduces the Trident Radiant Heating Tube to provide faster, more uniform heating and cooling. Surface designs the first top and bottom fired walking beam slab reheat furnace at the Granite City division of National Steel Corporation. A total of 3 furnaces are installed, each furnace having a capacity of 270 metric tons. The furnace was known throughout the industry as the 7th engineering wonder of Ohio. Taking care of the environment was also a focus during the 1970s. Surface engineers design and patent a rich fume incinerator capable of thermally oxidizing offensive gases and soot, so the stack discharge meets environmental regulations. International growth included the first contact with mainland China, whereby Surface presented steel mill reheating equipment and technology to Chinese steel industry technicians, and Surface also sees its first installation in China, a walking beam slab reheat furnace for China Steel Corporation. As Surface enters the 1980s, The industry icon, Allcase, celebrates its 30th anniversary and proves its mettle as an industry leader with the 1,000th Allcase BIQ furnace sold. Surface also introduces the new modular design RX gas generator, which has earned a very loyal following in the industry. In August 1986, a new path is forged with the announcement that Forstmann Little & Company has acquired Midland Ross Corporation in a leveraged buyout for $450 million, including its intention to sell the surface combustion division along with several others. Seeing tremendous opportunity, former members of Surface Combustion's senior management team quickly step up and buy the Surface Division's U.S. and Canadian operations. In 1988, with an eye toward the future, Surface designs a new 35,000 square foot headquarters in Maumee to more efficiently support the engineering, metallurgy, sales, marketing, research and development, and administrative groups. Surface helps keep the music playing with a 1988 rotary hearth furnace installed to heat treat cymbals. The tradition of always looking to solve environmental issues strengthens in the 1980s. Surface R&D efforts capitalize on its patents and fume disposal technologies to design a two-step pyrolytic system for safely neutralizing solid and gaseous hazardous and toxic wastes. In 1989, Surface establishes a special thermal products group to specialize in applying Surface's broad knowledge of thermal technology to the disposal of hazardous military, industrial, and medical wastes. This becomes an important strategic move as Surface continues to expand the depth of its product line. 1991 brings more focus on future growth with the opening of the Waterville, Ohio facility. Surface's commitment to support its customers around the globe is recognized with the installation of a continuous annealing furnace in Indonesia and the honor of receiving the 1999 Governor of Ohio's E Award for excellence in exporting. Never content to rest on its laurels, Surface installs the world's largest BIQ furnace, setting the company on a new growth trajectory. In 1998, William J. Bernard Jr. becomes the sole majority shareholder for Surface Combustion Incorporated. As the 90s come to a close, Surface proudly shows its commitment to the advancement of the heat treating industry by becoming a founding member of the Center for Heat Treating Excellence. Other notable highlights include: in 2005, a surface combustion furnace is featured on the cover of G8 magazine. In 2006, Surface is proud to receive the Governor of Ohio's E Award for Excellence in Exporting for a second time. 2008, the Surface Combustion direct-fired batch furnace is featured on the History Channel's Modern Marvels Super Hot. Continuing its long legacy of solving environmental challenges that impact world health and safety, Surface is awarded a metal parts furnace order for the disposal of chemical weapons in Russia. Also in 2010, Surface is proud to receive the Governor of Ohio's E Award for Excellence in Exporting for a third time. In 2013, Surface makes a major investment in the Waterville, Ohio facility to support future growth. The expansion ultimately gives Surface Combustion the flexibility and capacity to better serve the changing needs of its customers through a more efficient production layout, and also allows for expanded training facilities to complement its design and assembly operations. The expansion includes an addition of 22,000 square feet to its existing facility and enhances the flexibility and capacity to better serve the changing needs of our global customer base. The project doubled the amount of work bays, which are more expansive, to accommodate larger equipment assembly and testing. Planning for the future, the foundation and utilities have been designed to support a duplicate expansion adjacent to the current facility. 2015. Reflecting on a century of technology, a century of innovation, a century of quality, and a century of relationships with our valued customers, vendors, and employees.